in my dojo, you step in my dojo, you step in my.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey.
Yo, 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 what up?
Hey, hey, hey.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. At Producer Dojo, we have a constant stream of live events waiting for you to come get your learn on. Sign up at the link below to make sure you don't miss out.
Okay, I'm finally ready to take the future like.
All right, up next, we have an extremely talented sensei by the name of Daniel Simmons, who also goes by Daniel with the Balance. He is an unbelievably talented pop singer and songwriter, but he's also a very talented producer. He's going to share a grab bag of things that have helped him along the way, and I'm sure they'll help you too. So definitely go check him out on SoundCloud. His release on the Producer Dojo label is one of the best ones. It's really, really nice. But whether you are interested in making pop music or not, these lessons provided by Daniel will definitely benefit all different types of producers. These are fundamentals at the dojo that he is going to share with you today for free. So please give it up in the chat for Daniel with the Balance.
Greetings, my fellow artists and producers. I'm Daniel with the Balance. I'm a sensei here at the dojo, and I'm honored to be a part of this summit. The dojo has helped me immensely on my artist journey. I've been fortunate enough to release an EP on the dojo.
You can let your guard down.
And to play live with ill.gates himself.
You can let your guard down.
What I want to talk about today are a couple of the core exercises in the dojo that have helped me the most to create finished music, to understand the big picture through repetition. So these exercises are the arrangement exercise and the production recipes, which come from the EDM cookbook. So the arrangement exercise is done by choosing a reference track, something that you love, that inspires you, and mapping out the entire arrangement using blocks of MIDI. So mapping out the drums come in here with a block of MIDI, the chords come in here, the lead comes in here, and it helps you get an overview, an inside out look of what's going on within the track. And so once you've finished that, then you go in and using your own creativity, you fill in those blocks of MIDI with your own elements. And so this helps you to create a track with great structure and a great arrangement using your own creativity. And you can use as much or as little of the actual reference as you want. For example, using most of the same drum pattern, and maybe you use the same chord progression, but you change the key and you just switch up one chord. You can make it your own, but use something that's proven to work. Doing the arrangement exercise will level you up to the next belt. What comes next is the EDM cookbook and the production recipes. And this was the thing that really helped me grow the most, because it's something that helps you make a volume of work. And that's one of the big things in the dojo, is growing quality through quantity. So the production recipes, like a recipe, they tell you what ingredients to prepare ahead of time. For example, choose 3 kicks, choose a chord sound, choose 3 snares, choose a bass, choose a lead. And then they tell you step by step where to place the elements, but the actual way that you do so is up to you. So it tells you, lay down a drum beat here and bring in the bass here and transition effects here. But the way that you do that is up to your own creativity. But it shows you how to, in even about an hour's time, create a full track, start to finish. And this doing this over and over really empowers you to understand the in and out of the production process to make a full arrangement. One thing with the production recipes is that they can come out sounding generic, but after getting the feel for them, what you can do is really intentionally using your own signature sounds in them. When it comes to finding your own sound, there's a formula that's really helpful. It's formula that's really helpful. It's the music you love now and you love to make, plus the music that you loved listening to when you were in high school or in those formative years when you were first falling in love with music. Because if you just try to copy the styles that are popular now, it can easily end up sounding generic. But by putting the element of what you first fell in love with, which is kind of in your blood and your music DNA, and you infuse that into the current popular sound that you like, that's a way to create a unique sound that is yours. So when you're doing these exercises, choosing elements that are unique and that fit with your music history. For example, for me, I grew up listening to pop punk, and then I went on a spiritual journey and fell in love with EDM music. So when I'm doing exercises, I like to use guitar for the chord element and sound bowls and healing chimes and things like that as texture. And so by intentionally choosing these elements, you can start making things following the recipes that turn into songs you actually want to release. And these exercises really prepare you by giving you the overview of what it takes to create a full song. And creating and finishing music is really the most powerful thing for helping you level up as a producer. And when these exercises are combined, they can lead to really great results. For example, doing an arrangement exercise of a song you love and then letting that inform and be the template for your production recipe. So once you've laid out an arrangement exercise, you know that you're going to need to prepare the ingredients that they have in their arrangement, but you don't need to choose necessarily sounds that sound like theirs. You can do that to your own unique taste and then follow the arrangement. And this is a really empowering way to cut through the guesswork of where you should put things and actually get into the creativity of making music rather than trying to figure out the structure of how and where you should put things. And by doing these arrangement exercises and recipes, it really levels you up. With each one, you get a better understanding of what goes into a track and more ideas to go into your future projects. Another thing in the dojo that's really helpful for finishing tracks are the 3 phases of production. Phase 1 is really helpful in getting out of perfectionism and into creation. And in phase 1, you say yes to everything. Every idea you have, you just go with the flow, you go with the ideas. And this helps you stop shooting down your ideas and just get creating. You turn the faucet on and run with it. And this lets a lot of creative ideas come through. And it's after you've found a sound that you're really vibing with that you start going back and choosing what to keep and what to let go of. In phase 2, it's the arrangement portion where you take the sounds that you created and lay it out into a full track. And then phase 3 is what's really empowering and has helped me finish many tracks that I wasn't able to before joining the dojo. And in phase 3, you bounce down all the stems in your arrangement as concisely as you can and lay them out in a new project. And from there, you basically remix and mix your arrangement, and you might add some extra elements and do some remixing, as in chopping and stretching of the audio, cleaning up reverb tails, and it makes it so much easier to actually finish your music in phase 3 than trying to do so in the phase 2 arrangement session. I like to make music in stages. It's great to do a stage of creating a lot of tracks and then go back and assess which ones you really want to take all the way to completion of a finished, polished mix. One thing that's really helpful about this is it puts you in an abundance mindset. By having lots of tracks to choose from, you don't feel like your self-esteem is so intertwined in any one track. And so you can be more...
When I first started in the dojo, total newbie, had no idea what I was doing. And I remember I was putting reverb on my kicks, which is not always a bad thing I've learned, but I was like reverbing my kicks out and I was like reverbing my drums out, and looked at the year-long package and I'm like, you know what? I'm ready for this. Let's just jump in and commit to it. So I jumped in for 1 year and I'm like, okay, I have 12 months. I saw the belt system and I'm like, okay, like this is some kind of progression. Let's just like get after the belts and start working. Started like crushing the weekly download. Just honestly, just like seeing that moment happen from when I first started in the dojo as a white belt. It really was a process of learning to trust, well, to grow as a producer and to like trust my own skill set and to like believe in my own music. So I've had some really cool opportunities with music. So big ups to the whole dojo, and big thanks to you, Dylan.
Heck yeah.
Feel like your self-esteem is so intertwined in any one track. And so you can be more relaxed about the whole process because you're not as invested in any one. So by doing a wave of these exercises, you can come out with a volume of work and greatly improve as a producer and shorten the time to go from beginner or wherever you're at to a much higher level of production and being able to actually complete songs. There are the steps of actually mixing down the music and taking it all the way to completion. And as far as that goes, there's so much in the dojo and the weekly downloads about how to mix and polish the various elements of your song. Even there, it's really helpful to take a quantity through quality approach. At a certain point, you've done the best that you can, and when you're there, that's when it's time to release the music, and you'll get feedback and you'll level up. And the process of really completing and releasing a song is like a butterfly coming out of the chrysalis. And the butterfly is you. By finishing and releasing that song, you release yourself and you get the full upgrade, the full level up of having gone through the entire process. And it will empower you to be better at every step of the process going forward. So completing music all the way is really the key to true upgrades, true up levels. And even if you look back and you think you could have done better, which is inevitable, you got that upgrade. And so now put your focus into the next music and you're gonna keep growing. When you're near the end of the process and you're doing your final mixing, it's really important to reference on as many systems as you can, listening on your speakers, on your headphones, on your earbuds, on your phone speakers, on your laptop speakers, on your car speakers, and making notes of how it translates on each system. And each system will reveal something that the others don't. And you want it to translate to all systems. So sometimes I'll even make adjustments at the end in earbuds where I can hear harshness that I wasn't able to hear on my studio headphones or monitors. And because so many people are listening on the phone speaker and the earbuds, it's important to make sure it translates there as well. And once it's sounding like the best you can do, go forward with it, release it, promote it, and move on to the next one. And over time, you will grow a body of work and continue to upgrade as an artist and a producer, learning by doing, evolving through quantity. So these are some of the things within the dojo that I use most often. And there's really so much more that continues to help me level up as a producer. So with that said, I will pass it on to the next sensei. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Daniel with The Balance, and look forward to seeing you in the dojo.